Welcome to my awesome stream tonight. This will be phase 2 of our wonderful self-portrait in fire. This will be phase 2 of our wonderful self-portrait in fire. So, just getting a few things ready. I had to spray a fixative over my drawing to get the pencil to stay. In place. And it kind of smells a little bit. It smells just a teeny bit. And then I've got my paint thinner and my oils here ready to go. Yeah, I'm always ready to go. And today I'm just going to use my paper palette. It's called Paper Palette. It's kind of got a waxy finish on one side, and you can use this for acrylics, or you can use this for oils or any kind of wet type of paint. Yeah. So I'm assuming my mic works tonight because, hi, Chevy High Speed. Hi. Welcome back. So excited to see you again. My day was great. I had nice 80-degree weather with a cool breeze. Although I was working inside most of the day, it was nice to come out and feel that sunshine. So I really enjoyed my day. And then I get to come home and hang out with you guys. You awesome people. And may I ask, how was your day? I hope it went well for you. I had this board, it was right here. It's my board for sticking my palette on. My palette paper. And I just moved it just in time for when I needed it. That is a great habit of mine, to lose things instantaneously. And by the way, here is how our last painting turned out. It was an oil for a fine friend that he's getting for a gift for his friend to remember Florida by. And she came down for her visit. And I got home a little bit on the late side. So I'm just going to use this. Let's go back to our other thing. Someday, Chevy, you'll tell me how you're doing again. It was so exciting meeting you the first time. I'm trying to remember what it was you did. Something fun. You're an artist, right? Thank you, Chevy. I appreciate that. The talent I was fortunate to be born with. The organization, not so much. And preparedness, although I am working on that. So I just cut this little piece of palette paper, make sure I get the right side up this time, because last time I had the wrong side up and the paint absorbed into my palette paper. And we don't want that to happen again. There we go. And just tighten that down. This fixative, though, is very, very strong. And I forgot to spray it yesterday. I was going to get that all sprayed down. Then I fell asleep, woke up, went to work. So I might get a little high off of this chemical. Whew. Or maybe I should get a fan. Chevy, have you ever won any competitions or anything like that? Well, yeah. I need to enter some more, though. Some more recent ones. But a few years ago, I won, it was called Celebration, and I painted a flamingo. And it was really, really awesome, really flamboyant and fun. And so I got an award for that. Not a huge one, but it was recognized. So I appreciated that. Okay. In my bucket of beautiful paints, but I do want to enter some more contests actually and get more involved. So that is my goal. I'm working on that real hard. Where's my burnt sienna? These are so old I can't even read the. So it's like a light tan color, and I think I broke the last one. Maybe it was raw sienna. Raw sienna is nice. We can use that one. This is from yesterday's penciling to see how thick the pencils were. Yeah, this one's really oily. Looks like poop. But that's okay, because we're going to use a paint extender today, or a paint medium, painting medium. It kind of wears the paint down a little bit, or it makes it slow drying and also thins it out. And we're going to do that with a little linseed oil and a little paint thinner. I should pour it. Well, I did pour it in this before, but then it all dried up. So I have paint thinner. Maybe I'll just make another layer. I got poop on my thumb. No, not really. It's just paint. Paint that looks like poop. I think I wear most of my paint before I even get started. So I should just like roll around in my paint and then roll over on a big canvas and, just go from there. And there is a formula for mixing your paint thinner and your paint thinner and your medium. You can use, 50-50 ratio, or you can use basically any kind of ratio. And I've got some brushes here Steve got me from, let's see. Hey, Jones, hi. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So Chevy, have you ever won anything yourself? Yeah, let me get a bigger brush here. I'm always using small brushes. Today I'm just going to use a larger brush because I am tired of using these dinky little brushes to get started. It takes me forever. And I really, let's see, I really don't want to take that long. So I'm just going to take some of this paint thinner, scrape it on the edge here. And then I am going to need a lot of towels today, I can tell. So Jones, how was your day today? Also, I did win a competition at a, what was it called? The, nothing too exciting, nothing really to speak of, nothing crazy or anything, but I'm working on that. I've been really involved in taking care of family and, oh, I do not have my color. I have a color picture that I'm working on, so I need to get that up. My, what do you call it? My reference photo. And I can find my photos in here somewhere. Anywho, I'm just going to do some, ooh, that's not even light enough. We need to get a little more. Very, very, very wet. Very thin. Much thinner. And I see this paper is really soaking this up, so I don't want to do too darn much. I'm just going to kind of get some on there and then just leave it. We're going to be using a lot of color. All right. Not all of that. Actually, I think I might scrape that off into a smaller container to save it for later. But I have painted a few, actually, Chevy, I have painted quite a few large paintings and sold them. So that was pretty cool. And also painted some murals on a restaurant and bar and grill, very popular one here in Florida. And also, geez, oh, I was looking for a container. Containers are very important when it comes to painting because you need to save as much paint as you can, being that it's so expensive. And I know I had a container here. Maybe Jones, do you remember seeing a container somewhere when you were hanging out? Jones is my honest guy, gives me some helpful opinions, tips, and compliments. Keep me on my toes. Yeah, well, I think I lost my container. Well, they're there when you don't need them, and when you do need them, they just kind of disappear, I guess. I'm looking in all my little cubbies. Okay. All right, let's just wipe some of that off here. And then I'll use my palette knife to just kind of scrape it to this little pile over here. a little poo pile. So gorgeous. Don't be jealous now. You too can make a poo pile. But yeah, Chevy, there's a thing called Portrait Artist of the Year, but it's over in England, and I like to watch. I like to watch that because they have 4 hours to do a painting of a portrait painting of someone famous. After that, um, they pick the winner, and the winner has to go through a series of painting competitions, and at the end, the winner gets to paint a very, very famous person. And I thought that would be really exciting and fun. I know I could do it, and the only thing is, it's in Europe. They don't have that here. I don't know why I can't find my pictures. Oh, they're there. My photos. Must have moved them in my apps here. Where are you? Somewhere. Now, it looks kind of like a mess now, but believe me, when we're done, it's going to look really awesome. And can you see that okay? Unfortunately, I have that particular painting on the cell phone that I'm using to stream with. So I'll go from memory at this point. My little jar of thinner here with my napkin to absorb this wonderful color. Gotta get that off of there. Okay, and in here we put our paint thinner, and we put some of our, what was it, linseed oil. This is a ginger shot bottle, and I drank all the ginger shot, and it was really good, but it's a nice glass bottle with a easy twist lid that you can use for any of your projects that you might have. Maybe I have it back here. Yeah, so I save those when I do get some ginger, or those, I don't know, they're healthy shots or whatever. That's what I call them. Some are turmeric, some are ginger, some are pineapple, something, something. All right. So now I am going to use a little brush, I think, for some of the stuff. I know I have that. Ah, I found it. I found the picture. And we're going to need yellow and white and matching some colors. But first, I'm just going to do a base. And we're going to use some of our big, where's my big white? Big white, where are you? I hid it somewhere in plain sight. Ah, this is what we use the most, titanium white. I'm just going to get a little bit of this out. It is hard to squeeze because we use that to mix everything in. Makes it brighter, lighter, and that kind of thing. And then when we mix it together, a little mixy brush here. You get some white down here. I'm going to get some white over here and some white over here because I'm sure we'll be using that eventually. And then I'm just going to dip my brush into this little solution here to get that nice and wet or oiled down, I guess. I didn't go to a professional school, although I'd love to have a class, a course in art and that kind of thing. I think if I did that, it would really, really improve my not only my confidence, but my ability. There we go. And my ability to do much better paintings much faster, and also be seen more. And having a backup. A lot of times we need backup, a support, like a team of people to encourage you. And, you know, give you venues for growth and that kind of thing. Right. Scrape some of that paint off because I got quite a bit on there. That's interesting. The picture I'm looking at isn't exactly the original, I don't think. Oh, here we go. I found it. I took 2 pictures. So I'm using, oh, I did it again. I want to use a smaller brush for the circles right now and for some of the detail. Now the eyes are going to be a beautiful blue color. So we're going to just, kind of a green blue. Have you ever seen hazel eyes and they change color? And you can't really tell if they're green or they're blue or they're gray or brown or they have gold in them. So sometimes it's just, they're all colors. And they just change with your mood. They can change with the clothes you wear. They can change in certain kind of lighting. Very chameleon-ish, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to get a teeny bit of blue, like the smallest dab. There's quite a bit of oil in that, but that's okay because I don't need it thick. I just need a very fine, fine. Fine. And this paint, okay, this brush got all mangled somewhere. So we're not going to use that one. I do have a brand new one though, and I think I will break this open. It is a 3-0 round. And this will be a brand new one. And we're going to mix our plenty of white. With a lot of white. A little bit of that brown, which is still lingering in there. And maybe just a teeny more here. Getting the right colors can be very challenging. So I'm just going to do layer up on layer, and it's going to be very, very, very light, and then we'll build our layers up from there. Okay. Some pupil in there, and I'm looking at my reference photo, and there's a very light bit of color all the way around. Let's move that down so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm also going to use this color for some of the bubbles in the background, since we have it out. I'll definitely add a little bit more white to that. So I'm just going to add a little more white because I barely want any color, just barely. Scrape it off there. And I'm using lots of thinner. So I do not want this to be too thick. When you paint with oils, you want to start with thin to thick. That way you can build up on it. The thicker your paint is, the longer you have to wait for it to dry, which is why you start from thin to thick, because you don't want to wait all day. And mixing with a brush is not a good idea because it gets all up into the base there where the glue is, and it's really hard to get out. But I have this beautiful blue color, and I'm going to add more white to make it even more white on this side. So I'm just kind of building up my blue as I go. My blues and whites and lights. I got a lot of that on there, and I can't get it off. Let's try that tiny one. You can tell I've used this quite a bit. There we go. Clean that off in my paper towel. And that one as well. And we are ready to do a few more bubbles. This is going to give us a rough base. I was thinking about starting in acrylic and painting it, and then I was thinking about there we go. And I'd love to talk to her, but I don't think she knows I'm streaming. I'm going to move that brown, the beautiful brown color up out of the way. Get that out of the picture. Because we're going to get more of our other pretty colors in here. And I think I'm finally getting this horizontal thing figured out. I could not get it horizontal to save my life, but I have been figuring it out. And the last few times, I think 2-3 times, I've been able to do it horizontally. I've been able to get the camera to go horizontal, I should say. Yes. Oh, I guess I can't have music tonight. I need a live band behind me. That'd be fun. And I think some of these are going to be like a little bit green as well. We're going to have some greens and some blues, just like we are in the eyes. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to paint over it anyway. So we'll just get in a few of our blues. Oh, I love it when I do that. I paint on my right side, and then I also put my palette on there, so I wind up getting my arm all blue. So I need a little bit bigger of a table, I think. And this was for details, which I've gotten away from. Let me get back to that. Get a nice base here for our fire flames. And a very, very light gray blue. I think that's going to be too dark. For the eyes, maybe not. And I have to think fire and flames to get this to be where I want it to be. And it takes a little bit of focus. And this little guy too. He's going to have a little bit of, this is going to be part flame as well. Okay. I'm going to get that little bit of green. It's going to be my brush of the night. A little bit of green. And I'm trying to decide what type of green it is. It's like a gray green. So blue and yellow make green, but we don't want bright yellow. Let's try this cadmium medium yellow. See if that'll work. With just a teeny bit. It's going to pull it out. Just really don't want too much. I'm going to have to stop using this. Just paint doesn't scrape off right. There we go. All right. So medium cadmium yellow medium, however you say it. And this was a Grumbacher type paint. I'm using mostly Grumbachers tonight. Well, Chevy, thanks for asking about that anyway. And we want to mix a little bit of this yellow over here with a ton of white. Let's get this up here so you can see it a little better. So I got yellow and got a ton of white. And I'm going to get that mixed in really nice so it's a nice, soft, but bright yellow. I think I get more paint on these than anything else. But it comes in handy. These guys can take turns scraping off the excess paint. And there's that. And a little bit more white for an even lighter yellow. Now I used to have a big piece of glass I would use to mix my colors because glass is a lot easier palette for painting. It's easier to clean and move your paints around and all of that. And when I moved, I lost it somewhere, which is what happens when you move. I moved a lot in my life, so. But I've actually lived in this one place finally for more than, let's see, it's been more than 7 years now in this, where I'm living in my house. It's not a fancy schmancy house, but it's my house. I don't have a landlord. I don't have HOAs. So I consider that pretty darn good. And, oh, my green, I was going to make a little green, not with this brush, but with one I've already used. And a lot of thinner and white. And a gray. Oh, you know what turns to gray really easy? Is Mars Black. I have Ivory Black. Ivory Black. For some reason I went up with 1,000 things of black paint. And I really don't use that much of it. Mars Black, Van Dyke Brown, Phthalo Green. Well, why not? I'm going to go for the Phthalo Green. That'll be pretty. Doesn't take much. Not too much at all. see what, oh, my power's. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share or any questions? It is a quiet night for a Tuesday. Let's see, so I'm going to use a lot of this little green, beautiful green. A bit of blue. Get this amazing color. And did I ever get my Mars black? I was still working on it, wasn't I? Yep. It's so funny. I had nothing but Mars black, and now all I can find is ivory. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. I suppose we will use ivory. That's the one that seems to want to be used right now. This is so old. I think my paints are like 20 years old, some of them. Which is why you should paint every day and use the paints you have, because the only wasted paint is the paint that you don't use. All right. It's a little more white with that one. Oh yeah, that is good. That is very good. That is the color. Very close to the color I want. Very, very close. Oh, I love that color. It's kind of a, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a grayish thing. And I'm going to move this right back up here. And this is for an eye color. So although I mixed it with this one, it is very, it's not very pointy, and I need a really nice point on it to get that color in there that I want. I'm putting some of that right over that grayish color. Then we'll go around, and I know she looks really weird. Then we'll go around that with black and all that eventually. What time is it here? 9:30. All right, let's block in some of the other things now. We'll use our gray colors. With our greens and blues, plenty of white. We do want different color bubbles, but not hugely different. This is excellent. I love it. Very nice. So I'm having a quiet night. Pretty quiet anyway. Sometimes I just like it that way. Okay, not so many details right now, so we can use our bigger brush. There's so many brushes to choose from and so little time. But like I said, I'm working on taking all day and all night to make a painting. But this is going to be a few week process, I think. Just a bit. Yeah. Okay. I think it's almost getting time to take a break till tomorrow. I'm just going to do this for a while. And I'll throw some yellow in her fiery eyes. Get some white and more gray blues. Now the bubbles will even be different colors too once we're done. This is just the base layer right now. That up so you can see it better. Is that better? Hope you can see it better. There. So you can see I'm using a little bit of greens, a little bit of blues, and lots of white. I'm going to keep this to be my blue brush, and then I'll use my yellow brush for some flames. This is great. I'm finding all my pointy small brushes that I thought I lost. Okay, so this is going to be fun. So I just kind of want to see where the yellow is going to go. From our flames. Isn't that nice? I don't think I've ever painted anything quite like this, especially as a self-portrait. We could probably turn on a few sounds of music for a while. I swear, this thing keeps falling forward. Trying to get it to stay up. We got teal, we got blue. Use a longer brush for the yellow, I think. And keep them separated. Oh, here's a good one. I like this brush. So we got yellow, we got blue, and I guess green. With a lot of white. And I like this paper. It's actually a really, really good paper to paint on. I normally paint on canvases, so painting on paper that doesn't warp and it soaks it in nice is very refreshing. I think tomorrow we'll work on the skin tones. Matching the skin tones. I'm going to match those up and then we'll start doing that over the face area. How to get 2 blues? Got 1 yellow, blue. I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway. I'll get a little more yellow on this little tinier brush. I'm going to focus on that for a minute. I used to think I could paint anything, like anything goes. And I actually could. And I painted all the time. And I had my color mixing down real well. But then I went quite a few years without actually painting. And I kind of forgot some of it. And I got to get back up on the horse, as they say. I'm just mixing up some of this yellow with some of this green. We're going to add a few more colors up here. That's a good one. It's almost 10. Anybody still getting used to that time change we had to go through again? They're always making us do things like that. And we always are like, okay, we'll set our clocks ahead or back. Like, it makes any difference. I guess back in the day, farmers, which we barely have any farmers anymore, but they needed to get up earlier or later depending on the season. So, but I don't know why all of America has to change their time, because when all of America aren't farmers, we just get tired. There's really no purpose for us other than to mess up our schedules, and I would prefer to have the same schedule, you know, something dependable. How is this not charging? Probably because I didn't plug it in. Hello. There we go. Yeah, I do like the green. I think we definitely need more green in our... My arm is going to look prettier than the painting. Now, where was I? Forgot where I was. Was it in here, maybe? Yeah. So who wants a robot when they can afford one? They have all kinds of robots now. I think it'd be cool to have like a fake person to talk to if you don't have real people and if you're lonely. However, it wouldn't be cool so much if it malfunctioned and set data somewhere where you did not expect it to be. All right, we can do these bubbles all night. I think I'll do a quick coat over the skin, very light coat. Be using my big brush again for that. Get a nice skin color. Started here. Oh, it got black on it. Damn it. When I finally settle down and get a chance to actually paint, it is so exciting for me. Oh, I watched that movie Wicked, by the way. Has anyone seen it? It seemed really good, and I was waiting to see more, and then I guess it was over. I thought, okay, now that she's got her powers, what's she gonna do? How's she gonna get really bad, and how's Glinda gonna get really good? I got too much in there, so I'm going to take a little bit of that paint off with another brush. Spread that around a bit. Nice. I think we're off to kind of a good start here. So we've spent about 2.5, 3 hours on this painting total time so far. People always keep in track. Well, how long did it take you to paint that? And I never keep track, so I never know. I'm painting it on here. Definitely keep track of the time much easier because it's being recorded. Oh, that darn music goes away every time. Yes, the space area. She's got some highlight here and a lot here. Coming down around the nose. Up here, more highlighting. And definitely these flames are going to have some white. But for today, this is going to be it. I'm not going to do the lips because I'll have to bring out the reds. And I'm not ready for that yet, so I'm going to keep this to a beautiful minimum. I think we want some yellow there. Bit of yellow highlights. Okay, guys, this is going to be pretty much it right now. There's a little bit of white coming up here. Our skin color. All right. So far, it's not too bad. I don't think I'm upset. I think it's going well. And that's why we do an underpainting, to get the general ideas. And we've got to get the coloring right, or rendered right. All this fancy art talk. So now it's brush cleaning time, which is very important to do. If you don't clean your brushes and your favorite brushes, you will no longer have those brushes. And you'll have to get more. Yeah, so black and white was very pretty, but I'm still going for this color because I love color, and this is going to be a very colorful painting when I'm done. We'll be adding the oranges and the bright reds and oranges and tones like that. Some of the more skin tones. I'm really going to work on my skin tones now. That's going to be one of my main things to do, because I always make up my own skin tones. I've never really perfectly matched skin tone. To make it look exactly like the person or exactly the same colors, because I feel like in art that just doesn't exist, and it's completely open to interpretation. But we'll get down here, we'll see some of these bubbles. And a little bit of how we blend it a little bit. We want our lights and our darks in there. And I may need to blend these just a little bit better, actually. Yeah. So this concludes tonight's hour of painting. And we'll continue tomorrow. It was tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. This painting will probably take a good week. So I appreciate your patience, and I appreciate you joining me and liking my video. please feel free to make a comment, or you can reach me at my email, which I will place in the description below. This video will be available to watch in half an hour or within a half hour. A really good smoothie. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.